Okay, good evening, everyone. This is the first workshop of the trimester for 2022. It is today, December 13. It is Tuesday, December 13, the year 2022. And as I said, it's the first workshop of the trimester. So today's topic is on essay writing. It's outlining and brainstorming, and of course, the writing strategies used for this topic. Okay, so I will share with you right now on the screen my my first slide, and I'm having a little bit of a difficulty here. Just a moment, please. Okay, I'm having difficulty trying to share this screen with you. Yes, of course. Thank you. Thank you for the suggestion.
Joseph, can you hear me?
Yes,
Okay, if you can hear me, till you get ready for your displaying your presentation or slides, and just give
yes,
me half a minute to introduce you to our valued participants and guests.
yes, of course. Thank you.
Okay, then, Assalamu alaikum, everybody. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. As Brother Joseph has mentioned, today's workshop, as you even noticed, is going to be about essay writing, which is a very important topic for all, I mean, staff, teachers, and students. It's going to be about pre-writing out and outlining strategies. I'm sure that most of you already know Mr. Joseph Valerio, who has been teaching university students for about 25 or 26 years. His specialization is in the field of education, TESOL. He has taught such courses as IELTS, Preparatory Guide, TOEFL, Business English, Employment Business, which included CV, resume, cover letter writing, mock interview preparation, as well as introduction to British and American literature, Canadian, American culture, and writing courses at all levels. Mr. Joseph's workshop is number 5 at the English Language Institute, and I'm sure that you're going to enjoy it. Uh, could you share the presentation, Joseph, or not yet?
Well, I'm in the process of putting the files in. I have 3 files actually, so
Mm-hmm. Okay.
they are. It's almost done. Yeah.
Okay, till you get ready, I just would like to remind all the participants today and to invite them actually to share me thank Dr. Basim Al Amri for all of his contributions, his establishment of the English of the Academic Writing Institute or Center. Dr. Basim did a great job, and we can't do his job actually. He taught us something we learned, and we can continue his tremendous efforts. Uh, Unfortunately, Dr. Basim has left us to another institution where he is again doing a great job and benefiting other faculties and other institutions in the kingdom and at King Abdulaziz University in particular. So please, if you have the chance, do join me thank Dr. Basim for all of his achievements, performance, contributions, and the establishment and development of the Academic Writing Center. Thank you all. And again, thank you for coming and for attending our workshops. For this trimester, we are going to have 8 workshops like the first trimester. The 8 workshops are all very important for you, and I'm sure again that you're going to enjoy them all. I think that Joseph is about to share his content.
The
Yes.
file, it'll be ready in a couple of seconds from now. Thank you, Brother Kamal, for your fine introduction. And most of all, I think we have to thank you for the kind words that you have said about Dr. Bassem Al-Amri, who was our leader for so many years and also through the Corona period. That was not easy. So thank you, Brother Kamal, for those kind words about Dr. Al-Amri. I'm sure the whole Academic Writing Center team agrees with you that he will be sorely missed. But we do have very competent people as well, and we have to also thank Mr. Yahya Al Ghamdi for being our assistant director, and I'm sure he will carry the baton and make this AWC a success as it was in the past. So we'd like to say thank you to Dr. Al-Amri, and also thank you to Dr. Yahya Al Ghamdi for his help with this presentation today, because it's a hybrid of my presentation and his. So thank you. And of course, we thank him for his ongoing leadership when he was assistant director, and now with the AWC, the Academic Writing Center. Thank you again. And thanks again, Dr. Kamal. We'll begin with a warm-up. I usually begin a class with a warm-up, especially when I'm waiting for students to come in. Well, it seems that all of you have already shown up, have already come. There's over 100 of you. Thank you for coming. We really appreciate it. It warms our hearts to have you with us. I'm just going to begin with a warm-up here, and I have reduced the number of warm-up exercises for today because of, as Assistant Director Yahya Al Ghamdi has explained to us, time is of the essence, and it's a rather longish presentation. We'll begin with the warm-up. What alphabet and what numeric system are used in the English language? If you don't mind, please answer in the inbox or the chat box. I would like as many as participants as possible. Does anybody know the answer to the alphabet that is used in English? What is it called? And what is the numeric system called? Can anyone please participate and send their answers? By the way, I need to make it very clear, and I'm sure our colleague, Mr. Kamal Al-Shawaneh, will agree that any of these files are available to the public. So any of you who is listening today, if you missed a few slides, if perhaps you had to, you did not comprehend one of the slides, or we were going too quickly, please ask me to go more slowly. But if you ever miss a slide, please contact us and we will send you. We will be more than glad to send you the slide or any of the files available, okay? I'm sure that Dr. Kamal Shawaneh will try his best to send the slides that you need that are missing. Okay. All right. Well, thank you for your participation. The alphabet system that we use in the English language, as you already probably know, and this is just a warm-up, as you know, is the Latin alphabet, and it's the Roman alphabet. So that's the ABC. Now, to kill two birds with one stone, there it is on the screen. I don't know if you can see it on the screen. Can you? No, I guess you cannot. All right. Right. Okay, I'm sure you'll be able to see it now. Okay. You can see the question, but I also sent the okay. So the answer is there, the Latin Roman alphabet. Okay. And what numbers do we use in the system? I'm sorry, what numeric system do we use in English? And the answer is, because I asked two questions at the same time, it's Arabic, um, the Arabic system. That's 1, 2, 3. Now, numeric system in the Arabic is the Hindi numeric system. And on the screen, I flash very quickly what is the difference. As you can see, those numbers look very familiar, the ones that we use in Arabic. And they are not Arabic. They are originally from India, of course. Okay. Um, Now, very quickly, I'm not going to do the riddle. I had a riddle prepared for you, but I'm going to do a very quick riddle. Um, the number 13, since today was 13, just a little bit of humorous or comical approach here, is very lucky in Italy. It's also lucky in Asia. Okay, I didn't know you. Perhaps you did not know this, and also in some forms of some parts of Asia, in China as well. Okay, I put that on the screen. Again, if I'm going too quickly, it's because we are a little bit pressed for time, and we've got until 8:30 today only. So I will try my best. All right. Some people are asking about other numbers. I'm sorry, I was focusing on the number 13 because today is Tuesday, December 13th. So, and by the way, speaking of the number 8, somebody brought up the number 8 in our audience. Number 8 means infinity in some cultures. And by the way, number 4 is considered bad luck in China and in Korea as well. Okay, I'm going to leave you with this riddle here, folks. Okay, here's the riddle. What can run but never walks, has a mouth but never talks, has a head but never weeps, never cries, has a bed but never sleeps? If you'd like to offer a few answers in the chat box, please do. Okay. Yes, correct. Someone has sent the answer. A river, correct. Excellent. Superb. Okay. We're going to now begin we're going to begin with the slides on the essay writing right now. Okay. All right. I'm having trouble trying to get that file in. Okay. Okay. All right. Again, many thanks to Dr. Yahya Al-Ghamdi for his fine contribution to this. Thank you again, Yahya. And of course, to Dr. Kamal Al-Shawaneh for setting this up for me as well. Now, essay writing. What exactly is an essay? Well, an essay is telling a story. An essay is a group of sentences. How to plan for an academic essay. That's another objective we have. What is the standard structure? Well, usually we have an introductory paragraph. We have two body paragraphs, one that takes a positive view of the essay, and a negative side that would be in the second body paragraph. And of course, the fourth paragraph of an essay, of course, standard wise, there are other ways, of course, to write an essay. The last and fourth is the concluding paragraph, in which you reinstate or reiterate the statement that you made and the topic sentence, and then write it in a different way, and of course, give your opinion in the paragraph. So again, what is the main structure of an academic essay? Well, it's not very difficult. It's the introductory paragraph 1, 2, and 3 are the body paragraphs, and 4 the concluding paragraph. So we will look over, as we talked about, this writing of the paragraph. Now, how to organize the academic essay, that is another objective. And what are the standards for writing an academic essay? Okay. Can everyone, Kamal, I'm just checking with you. Can you see the slides right now? Are they okay? Are you able to see them? Okay, thank you. Thank you. Thanks for the participation. I appreciate it. It warms our hearts to see a lot of participation. Quite frankly, I'd like to see a lot of this every day. It's not often, but I'd like to see it every day in my classroom as well. So I'm glad that all of you are motivated tonight. Thank you. Okay, what is an academic essay? Well, it's a piece of writing, of course, about a certain topic. The topic explains and discusses, evaluates, and develops key ideas. And the ideas are highlighted, what you want to talk about. For example, I'd like to talk about my family, for example, is in the introductory paragraph. And each of these ideas are then discussed in the body paragraphs. And then, of course, you conclude by giving your opinion and, of course, reiterating, restating your ideas. All right, let's go to the next slide. Don't jump into the pool. Let's plan. Let's brainstorm ideas. And I tell my students, think about ideas that are associated with, for example, family, or talking about cars. What are the words that are associated? Word association. And you can set up a mind map, as we call it, or an ideas map, and then proceed from there to write sentences. Okay, the academic structure of the essay, that's the introduction. And that is a fair rule of thumb, 10% of the essay. Topic sentence, what is your focus? Okay, today I'm going to talk about my family, as I said before. Today I'm going to talk about cars. Today I'm going to talk about the Olympic Games. Today I will talk about the World Cup, the FIFA World Cup. So, as a matter of fact, there's a big game coming up today, the semifinal, right? One of the first semifinals. So, what is your focus? What do you want to share with your audience? And remember, keep your audience in mind, your target audience, and try to reach as many people as you can. Okay, the background. What do you want to share? The thesis statement, right? The topic. What exactly is your topic? What are you trying to say? And the slide is there. I'm not going to bother reading all of it because it's quite clear. And again, I will tell you for the third time, if these files, you missed a few of them or slides, you can request them from our link. Just click on the link and request, make a request, or email us at the AWC. So we'll be more than glad, as I said, to help you with your request and comply with your request. Okay, the roadmap of your ideas, draw readers' attention. Of course, you want a hook, as we call it. You want to continue with attracting the reader to make them read on, right? So your first idea, second idea, and third idea. All right. Okay, that's part of the introduction. We'll go to the next slide. The body is the meat, as we say, of the main of the story that you're trying to tell. The as we call it, the main meat, the principal part of the essay, and it is a big chunk of the essay. And we start with a topic sentence again, backgrounds and supporting sentences. You explain your sentences. That's sort of part of explaining again. And then you continue. You could, in one paragraph, as I make it easier for my students to do, talk about the positive part or the advantages of the essay and your point of view. And in the second paragraph, you can give a negative part of the essay as in contrast with the first body paragraph. Okay. All right. The last paragraph, and this would be the fourth paragraph because we have two body paragraphs. One talking about the advantages of a certain point of view, and second, the disadvantages of certain point of view. You have the conclusion. So one introduction, two body paragraphs, and as I said, the last one is the conclusion. And you summarize your three ideas and restate your claim, reiterate your point of view, give your opinion. Okay? All right. So basically, here is what we have as an academic structure. And of course, as you already know, there are other ways to do this, but this has been a good rule of thumb to have and to teach your students. And I'm sure that you already know this, but this might be another angle of the way you could teach your students. This is just a suggestion. And as I said, it is one way of doing this. And I'm sure you are all experienced and competent and qualified teachers to give your own opinion about how to write a paragraph. But in many books, many education books, English language education books, we have the introduction, the first paragraph, first main idea, the second paragraph, second main idea, and the third paragraph as the third main idea. Okay? And in the corner here, on the right, not really in the corner, you have the topic sentence. Background, that means you're filling in with details. The thesis statement. The thesis statement is usually an introductory statement. So it's usually the first one, usually. Roadmap, well, we explained a little bit about the roadmap in the previous slides. And as I said, you can ask for a copy of this so it doesn't elude you. The main idea, evade you, sorry. And again, the main idea, what is it? And the background, supporting evidence or supporting sentence with details and examples. Okay, explanation of the events. Okay, someone is asking me about where can we send the slides to or how to ask for them. Please go to the AWC as you've done today and send an email, okay? It's as simple as that. Send an email or follow the link, okay? It's very simple. Thank you, Dr. Kamal, for assistance there. Thank you. Johnny on the spot, as they would say. A man in the nick of time in that case. Thank you. All right. And thank you to the colleagues. Thank you for helping out with the question. All right, main idea 2, the same thing, the background, supporting evidence. It's right there. And again, at the bottom, we have the conclusion, as you see my arrow of the mouse there. All right, let's go to the next slide. How to write and organize an academic essay. Of course, we have to develop organized paragraphs. Of course, the introductory sentence or the topic sentence, thesis sentence, a group of sentences connected logically together, a group of sentences between 5 to 10 sentences, well, a group of paragraphs as well, a group of sentences between 5 or 10. Okay, the first sentence is called the topic sentence, and then we have the main idea. All right, followed by the supporting sentence or evidence sentence, and then details. Now, the third and fourth sentence could be examples from your own life. All right, examples from your own life. So, for example, if I talk about my family, I'll say my family's a very good family, just to be very simple. Then I explain who's in my family as a supporting sentence and why they're good. They are good because my dad is hardworking, whatever. And then you can give examples. I remember when my father did this. I remember when my dad did this. Okay. So that is a way of sequence and supporting your sentences. Okay. Now, the paragraph outline. We explain, then we have examples from real life. Again, we explain, we have examples, facts, and facts can also be from your real life as well, from your own life. And then the concluding sentence, okay? Again, if I'm going too fast, please let me know. But even if I am going too fast, please remember that you can request this presentation and slides. All right. Okay. Reducing traffic congestion in major cities is an example here. All right. Important data suggests that traffic congestion reduces the productivity of city life. Well, that's true. If people are not doing what they're doing as their jobs, or not attending to their jobs, and they spend time going to and fro in traffic, well, that doesn't help them, does it? It doesn't produce anything. So, background, this is true because it was found that cities become busier with traffic. All right. I'm not going to read all the slide. You can get a copy and read it later, or you can check it out yourself. Why? Because, as I said, time is limited here. And of course, we have a supporting sentence. One solution is to add bike lanes to connect all the areas and districts in a city. And then we have an explanation, and that further supports the idea. This allows workers to use their bikes from home, which improves the overall movement of traffic during peak hours. Now, here is another supporting sentence. A variety of public transport, such as trains, metro lines, subways, as we call them in America or Canada, and buses reduce the number of cars driven by individuals. Now, again, another detail and another sentence to support this. Having these different kinds of transport saves time and money. Right. Okay, and the other one I think you can read as well by yourselves, but basically what we're doing is supporting what we have said. Okay. All right. Now, let us go to my other slides, another set of slides, and make it simple. This is what I've created for my students. because it is quite simple to use. All right, we'll go to that slide in a minute here. I'm having trouble connecting here. Okay. Well, it's not permitting me to go. It must be. Okay. Sorry, ladies and gentlemen. I'm trying to get to the example that I gave in my own life. That is. Okay. I think I've solved the problem here. Okay. Okay, so we're loading up the slides on my the examples from. Yes, I know. I'm sorry. Please bear with me. I'm sorry. I will put this on the screen right now. Okay. Okay, so I'm loading up the screen for an example from my own life. So these are a couple of titles that you can use. Remember, a title will attract the reader, please. Okay, so you can use a rather comical or strange title to attract the reader. My eccentric family, or my family, fascinating folk, or take my family, please. That would be a comical approach to writing, and that can be used as well. Or my family, an amusing bunch of individuals. Or you can also make your title a question. How much fun is your family? All right. Okay. So we'll go to a good opening sentence. My grandmother was the most influential, important family member during my formative years. Formative, of course, I'm talking about my early years, say from 5 or even 2 to 10. So that would be one good opening sentence. There's another one there, but I will focus on the first one. There's another third sentence, and they're all three different approaches to talking about family. So this is not about traffic. This is my own, from my own life. This is about family. And this is often very popular with my students because it's something that they know about. All right. Okay. So now we go to the next step. And I think we seem to be cut off here. I did not seem to put it in the margins, but I think we can get the gist of what I'm saying. The first one is the one we're going to concentrate on because I was talking about my grandmother. My grandmother tried her best to not reprimand me in front of my mother, it says here, or her daughter, my mother. She never used corporal punishment to correct negative or delinquent behavior. That's correct here. And the other one is quite easy, in front of, in the first sentence. Okay, so we'll focus on that first sentence there. I don't know if my mouse is visible, this one here. And we'll continue on with a supporting sentence. And again, I think we're cut off a little bit from this. I'll try to fix that the next time in my slide. One or two sentences with examples to support my opening sentence, right? And when I was 2.5 years old, my mom and I traveled to Italy. Italy is the word that's missing here. To so that my European relatives could meet me for the first time. I remember dropping a jug of olive oil and it smashed into pieces, spilling is the word here, at least 5 liters of oil on the kitchen floor. All right, so I'll fit it. I'm going to fix this as soon as we're done today. I think I know what the problem is. I increased the font, but I am telling you the words that are missing. And my grandma said the following to my mom: "Dear daughter, don't punish your son for this act. Let me take care of this." My grandma took me to the living room and gently reprimanded me without any corporal punishment. Sorry. Okay, so that would be the one or two sentences with examples without corporal punishment. Okay, so then the next slide, I am concluding the sentence in the paragraph, and it could be a link for the next paragraph. I must sincerely state that my family has helped me through adverse times, thick and thin, and without my family, I would be nothing, and I would be just a mere shell of my current self. Okay, so that is what I wrote from my own experience of family. All right, those are just examples there, and we'll continue with the others, the other slides on the body paragraphs. Okay, when, as I said, that would be a paragraph with the introductory paragraph, with the introductory sentence, topic sentence, and supporting sentence, and as well as sentences with examples in there. Okay, we'll go back to the main. Okay. Some colleagues are saying that it is a descriptive essay. That is perfectly okay if it's part of your essay. That is all right to do that as well. Okay, we've come back to the reducing congestion in major cities. Okay, I think we've already discussed this already. We've gone to practice. Okay, practice, choose the best answer that best develops the following topic sentence. Can you see this slide? Some people are saying they cannot see it. Is it not visible? Okay, all right, so maybe it's just your internet connection. If you can check that, please. All right, the practice. Choose the best answer that best develops the following topic sentence. Okay, so this is another example. We're not talking about traffic anymore. We're talking about something else here, just to make it clear. Indoor pollution sources that release gases or particles into the air are the primary cause of indoor air quality problems in homes. All right. So the pollution we have indoors, there are gases, of course, that are produced, right? What would be the best answer for this? Okay, some people say A, inadequate ventilation. Some people say C. Some physicians believe the dangers are allergens. Allergens, things that people are allergic to. A lot of people are saying A as well. I'm looking in the chat box here. All right. Thank you for your participation. It's very much appreciated. Okay. We'll go to the next slide. I hope you've had a chance to, I'm not going too quickly. I hope you had a chance to look at the 4 possibilities. Okay. The best topic sentence that fits into the following paragraph. It is easy to take precautions. Okay. Okay, so we have to choose the best sentence that fits. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm very sorry about this. We are done. I forgot to tell you that we're done with the previous slide. And we are going on to another exercise. Okay, I'm sorry. Okay. All right. I will appreciate your participation in this question as well. Choose the best topic sentence that fits. Here is the paragraph, and it's of course the answer will be focused on what we read in the paragraph. This is another example to choose the best topic sentence as we try to make this workshop interactive. Choose the best topic sentence that fits in the following paragraph. So if you would kindly please give your answers in the chat box, we would appreciate your participation. It's important to take special precautions, so to be ready and prepared, to take medications in a secure place, especially not for children to have it available for children, cannot get to them. Every item in the medicine cabinet should be labeled, so we have to be sure of what we are taking. All right, and it should be attached to the container, obviously. Even if you believe the medicine cabinet is too high for a child, it should be locked. So make sure that the medicine cabinet is locked. So what would be a good topic sentence? We have B, many medications are extremely dangerous if swallowed. Many families have small children. No. Why? Because we're not talking about the focus. The focus is medication. C, we're not talking about a child actually taking the medicine. We're talking about protecting the medicine out of the reach of children. So C would be incorrect. And D would be incorrect because we are not talking about life-saving medicines. We're talking about how to secure medicine. All right? Okay. All right. Thanks for your participation. Thank you very much. Most of you, I think all of you got the answer B. That was correct. All right. Okay. What's an example of a standard standard, when I say standard, I mean from the writing exams that we've had in the past. What is an example? Well, this one was taken from an exam in the past. Should public school students, so in high school, as long as it's not a private high school or a private elementary school, should they wear uniforms? Should it be obligatory? Supporters argue that, among things, uniforms improve discipline, bring a small sense of community, identity. People identify with each other. And there's no discrimination among clothes. I know that that was a problem in my high school. If I tell you about my own personal experiences, that was a problem. People used to make fun of each other if they didn't wear appropriate clothes. So maybe wearing a uniform does create a sense of unity. So write an essay in which you take a position. Yes or no, the advantage or disadvantage of wearing a uniform. All right. And again, we're going to go back to the outline. Debate between the supporters. I'm sorry about the end there. supporters or opponents of school uniforms. You have paragraph 1, what is the introduction. Paragraph 2 and 3 would be the body paragraphs. In 2, you can discuss the advantages, and in 3, you can discuss, yes, in 3, that because number 1 is introductory. Number 2 is the first body paragraph. You discuss the advantages of wearing uniforms. And in paragraph 3, the disadvantages of wearing uniforms. And of course, your last paragraph, which is number 4, usually it's your concluding paragraph in which you state your opinion and reiterate your focus, your topic sentence. Of course, what is on the right here is what we always have said regarding background, thesis, and supporting evidence. So that is nothing new. All right. All right, we'll go to the introduction. The topic sentence. The debate of whether public schools should emphasize students to wear a uniform. 2 viewpoints, advantages, disadvantages. What are the advantages? Well, it may create identity. That means everybody identifies with the same dress code, and it creates unity. Everybody's together, just like on a team, on a football team, for example. And the disadvantages would be that people will request that they have more liberty, more freedom of dressing the way they wish. So that would be in paragraph body paragraph 2. Body paragraph 1, you would express the advantages. Of course, the thesis statement, uniforms would help schools provide a better education to all students by eliminating social economic differences. Well, that means that when people do not dress in the same way, some people may be dressed very well and others may not be dressed very well, very informal, may wear, jeans, for example, and some others may wear very nice clothes as though they're going to a wedding or a fashion show. So this was a problem in my high school as well. There was a big difference between the way some people dressed as though they were going to a wedding, and some were dressed as though they were ready to work on their cars in their garages with their jeans on. And some of the jeans were not clean either. So there's an experience from my own life that it may have created a problem in high school. And of course, the focus was on clothes. People didn't go to school so much for education because of that. The focus wasn't on education. So the thesis statement that clothes sometimes affects the focus on education. People will dress as though they're going to a party or a wedding. So this is a certain problem here. Now, someone explained that like university. Yes, perhaps, but I think at university, the ages are a little bit, have a lot to do with it because the age, people are a little bit more mature when they get to university most of the time. And therefore, I'm talking about Western society. I think people, I don't know how you feel about it here in Saudi Arabia, but I don't think there's the same problem at the university level in the West because people don't really focus on that. They focus more on education. All right. Okay. Let us go to the first body paragraph in which you usually talk about the advantages and not the disadvantages. The second one, you would talk about the advantages. Okay. So here we have style is one of the major issues that affect our education. Supporting evidence. This is true among teenagers who have tried to figure out and understand themselves. So again, the social economic effect. People are thinking of how they look instead of what they're doing at the university, or sorry, at the elementary school or the high school. They're supposed to be focusing on their studies and not on making it a fashion show, on showing how they look, um, exhibiting their clothes as they do, say, on the walk, on the red carpet or the walkway or of in Hollywood just before the Academy Awards. In that case, a lot of it is about fashion, but it should not be that case in institutions of learning, especially at higher level institutions such as university. Okay, so the explanation in many schools today, this becomes a major distraction. It is a distraction. It's a problem. And an obsession, as it was for some people, not all, in my high school at Lester B. Pearson in Montreal, Canada, where we had quite a large percentage. I wouldn't say 50%, but I'd say 30% of the students tried to focus on looks instead of education. Yes, I just received that remark in the chat box. Exactly what I'm saying. Thank you for that comment. And it became a problem for a lot of students. I'm not saying that every student that dressed well got bad grades, but most of the time they did. Why? Because all they really focused on was going to a fashion show instead of going to study, going to a high school to study. That was my experience. And of course, in my area, a lot of people who went to other high schools, such as my cousins, told me the same thing. So this was a problem. I will remind you that I am of the Italian culture. I was born and raised in Canada. But being of the Italian culture, this was a big thing. It was a huge emphasis on how well you dressed at the high school level, not so much elementary school. So this was a problem for certain people of the Italian Canadian community. I can speak of this and criticize this because I am of that community. And I can tell you that that was a problem. You know, people did not focus on their studies. They focused more on the way they looked and going to a fashion show instead of they should be going to an institution of learning. Okay, so this was a problem. All right. And we have a second supporting sentence and then a link to the thesis, as you can read there. All right. And let's continue. The second body paragraph would be the opposite. If we do enforce, if we do make it obligatory for people to wear uniforms at the high school level, this would make it all equal for everyone. Everyone cannot discern. We have a question. I'm sorry, the question is quite quick there. I can't, I'm sorry. I'm getting a question about dress code here. Okay. Mohammed, would you like to expand on your question, please? Are you there, Mohammed? Okay. Well, we don't have an answer to that from the person asking the question. The question, I will tell you what it is. If we talk about the advantage in an essay, in the first body paragraph, and we talk about the second part, the disadvantage of the point of view, would that be a waste of time? That is the question. Well, you know, it depends on what type of essay you're writing. If you're writing a persuasive essay and you only want to talk about one point of view, I would be ready to agree with you. But usually, what we want our students to do, and I'm sure you'll agree, is to look at both sides of the coin, both sides of the argument, and give us advantages and disadvantages. So, Mohammed, in that case, I would agree if it's a persuasive argument that you want to make them think, make people think in a certain way. All right. Okay. The second body paragraph, most importantly, students from lower incomes. Now, here is where the uniforms have an advantage, right? Because everybody, you can't tell if your parents are earning a certain income or not. Therefore, the result is the devastation to self-esteem of the poor students. So we're talking about if you don't have a uniform and these students are just wearing shabby clothes and not dressed very well, they would be discriminated upon. Okay. Now, the other supporting sentence, right. And as Dr. Yahya Al-Ghamdi has explained, it all depends on the point of view that you use. What are you trying to persuade the audience to do? To agree with you that uniform should be used, should be obligatory, or not? Okay. Now, additionally, because uniforms require everyone to wear the same outfit, students from former families, poorer families, lower income families will not face the kind of teasing. And as I said, this happened to me in my own high school. Not that I was teased, because I was very lucky. My mom was a seamstress, a female tailor, so she was able to buy very good fabric and make clothes for all of her children. But there were others who were discriminated against because they were not dressed well. A certain 30% would discriminate those 30% who were well dressed, right? Okay. Okay, so we'll go to the next slide. Okay, I've lost the slide there. Sorry. Okay, I'm sorry. I will get back to the slides here. I don't know why it does this on my computer, but okay, it's loading up. We have again the first body paragraph. Okay. Okay, excuse me while I show you on the screen. Okay, we're back to where we started. The lower income families will not be in the same league, sort of the way they're dressed. So this was the problem. So I explained this part already. If you like, we can elaborate if you in your chat box if you have any comments. Okay, the third body paragraph. You can have a third body paragraph as well, and you can contrast to what you have said, or you can agree again to what you said. Of course, it all depends on what type of essay you're writing. Is it persuasive, or are you just presenting facts? Are you trying to get people to believe what you're saying? Are you being political? If you're being politically correct, well, then you have an option of um, making your sentences or your paragraphs agree with what you say and trying to convince them, right? But just for the purposes of today, we'll stick to the advantage and disadvantage. So the first and second body paragraph, and we'll keep it at 4 paragraphs, the introductory paragraph, the 2 body paragraphs, and the conclusion. Now, here is just one form of conclusion. Though many students will complain, requiring public schools students to wear uniforms makes sense. Why? Students will learn about themselves and about the world instead of focusing on their clothes, right? As I said, there was a good 30% in my high school that focused only on clothes, did not focus too much about courses, and they even told me so. They told me that they didn't care about school, and they just went to make a statement. A lot of them told me that, in the 30% of the what we call the affluent Italian Canadians, and I must say that the high school I went to, I would say at least 75% were Italian Canadians. I can tell you that because of the culture and because fashion is so important to the Italian culture, of course, as you know, Paris is no longer, and I repeat, and proudly so, no longer the capital of fashion. And by long shot now, Milano or Milan is, yes, thank you. People know this. And it's been at least 25 to 30 years. I could be wrong. It could be 35 years that Milan in northern Italy is the fashion capital of the world. I'm not saying that Paris is not important to fashion, but to the Italian culture, just why am I explaining this? Because it is 75% of Lester B. Pearson High School. 75% thought like this. Now, 30% of these 75% of these people did not think that school was important. School was just a way to show off your clothes or just make it a social event. So out of the 75, 45%, which is more than half, thought that school was important. But the 30% really actually admitted that they went to school just for a social occasion. So they dressed this way. Now, I also got a remark from Muhammad again. Thank you. I wish you would turn on your microphone if you don't mind. Is it possible to be accepting both sides of the argument? Well, why not? That would be a good statement in your third body paragraph, where you can talk about a hybrid or a mixture of the two viewpoints. That would be an excellent way. Yeah, I agree with you, Mohammed. Thank you for that suggestion. So, as I said, coming from my own life, um, they were very proud of the fact that they came from this Italian Canadian culture. And of course, proudly, I must say, they should be, as everyone should be of their own culture. But they were dressing this way for a social occasion and not to study, which was the wrong approach, obviously. That's not what you do when you go to school, obviously. And I can say the same thing when it comes to going to church or going to the mosque. In my case, I know that when it was a Christmas mass for Christians, people would dress up. And that's not the point of going to church, for example, or going to a religious place. It's to pray to God and to worship God. But, this is what happens when we focus on fashion in this way, right? Okay. So just to give you a background of, they would learn more about themselves if they dress with a uniform, I think, because they would not focus on the different types of fashion that they're trying to follow at that moment, that current fashion. And as you know, fashion is fickle, as we say. Fickle, it changes a lot. One day it's like this, next day it's like that. It's never the same. So if you want to keep up with fashion, you have to be very wealthy, I imagine. right? And fashion can extend to um, furniture as well. People like to have fashionable furniture and change their furniture in their homes as well. Okay, so it's not only clothes, fashionable cars. If the Joneses, as we say in English, your next door neighbor, the Joneses, that's a just an arbitrary family name that we use in the English language. The Joneses have a Ferrari. Well, then you want to keep up appearances and have a Ferrari. So uniforms will take that away. Will give more unity. Everybody's the same on the same even keel, the same level. All right. So now here's a reminder, folks, of the five standards for a good academic essay writing. Number one, introduction, the topic sentence, background with some supporting um, sentences and examples from your own life, the two body paragraphs, of course, the conclusion, and I think a good checklist. I think every writer, no matter whether he's a native speaker such as myself, born and raised in an English speaking country such as Canada or America or Australia, what you want to do is check your grammar, your sentence mechanics, as we call it, subject verb agreement, your punctuation, right? Making sure that there is an S for the third person singular. And of course, number five, coherence. Does it make sense what you're saying? Do your arguments follow? And unity, cohesion. Does it make sense? Are you uniting your paragraphs correctly? Does it flow well? Is there a sequence? And of course, I said logic behind coherence. Right. Okay. We'll go to practice here. And we have another sentence. Recently, American students are said to have fallen behind in sciences. Yes, this is true. We hear this all the time on the news. And some educators believe it is because American teachers are conducting science classes ineffectively. That means the teachers are not teaching well, obviously. They're not focusing on what they're supposed to teach in the curriculum. They are not following what the syllabus is. So write an essay in which you suggest ways science classes can be conducted, can be taught effectively. Okay, so that is one essay topic besides the uniform essay topic that we had before, or as I gave from my own life, family, and what happened to me when I was 2.5 years old, when I was in Italy. Okay, so the following examples can be used to provide anticipation of a lesson. So we have different types of topics here. And again, this is a grosso modo, as we say in French, a general view, the paragraph, the introduction, and the conclusion. But again, we have paragraph one, the introduction, then the body paragraphs, and then the conclusion. The paragraph three would be more not for our university students, but usually they're asked to write two body paragraphs, and one concluding paragraph. Sorry. Okay. So as I said, you could for now not you could omit or not include the paragraph three. What we usually have is the introduction, the first paragraph, the second paragraph, and then the conclusion as the fourth paragraph. Okay, and someone suggested that could we talk about both? Could we suggest that people do both, wear a uniform and then allow other students to not follow the rules. Well, what that's going to create is a problem among the students, because there are students who might complain that I'm following the rules and the other students are not. But if people do not complain about this, but I think they will, I think they should have the freedom to wear a uniform if they want to. And if they don't, they can dress the way they like. So I would agree with Muhammad with his suggestion, but at the same time, um, the third the third paragraph of the body. So the first paragraph, advantage of wearing a uniform, and number two, not wearing a uniform, and three, a hybrid or a combination of both opinions, would not be a bad idea. But the problem is it might create dissension. It might create complaints among the students. So I don't know how far that would go, but in an essay, why not? I mean, I don't know how it would be used in real life, but in an essay, I don't see where you cannot do that. It would be logical. But I think that the problem is that there would be many complaints against those who don't want to wear a uniform. I don't think the ones who want to wear their own clothes would complain. I don't think so, because they would have the freedom to dress as they wish. But that is certainly food for thought. And I thank Mohammed for suggesting that maybe as a third paragraph, right? Okay. Okay, we're going to go to, okay. There's something, I think, biographical about me there. Okay. Maybe perhaps someone has asked me about this. Okay. So what we're going to do is we're going to go to another set of slides, and we're almost done, by the way. So I ask you to bear with me. There's only about 14 minutes left here, so please bear with me. We're almost done. We will have some time, I think, for questions, I hope. Okay, so I'm going to share this once again. Okay, this is just the title of my other set of slides. We'll go quickly to some exercises. I think I'll have just one. We have time for just one exercise, I think. Okay. Right. So because time is of the essence, we don't have much time left. So instead of giving you, as I plan to give you, um, an exercise on writing some supporting sentences and writing an opening sentence, we'll do the concluding sentence exercise. Uh, let's pretend, again, we'll go back to my original, from my own life, my original topic, which was writing about your family. This is my conclusion, and I think I've done this already. I've shown you this slide. I must sincerely state my family has helped me through diverse times, thick and thin. And without my family, I would be nothing today, or I would be just a mere shell of my current self. So I have at the end here, how about planning or writing a concluding sentence on your own? What would you, if the topic were family, as I said, my original sentence, what would be your concluding sentence and opinion about family. Would you like to share that with me now, if you would be so kind? That would be actually the last thing I would like to share with you. Does anybody have a concluding sentence? Maybe just one sentence. If you have two, that would be nice. To talk about your family. Okay. I think that might be a little bit more difficult and require more reflection and thought. So take your time. Okay. Dr. Kamal, people are asking about the link again. I guess you can send it at the end of the workshop. We are almost done here. And I would like to leave you with this thought. This is what I tell my students, especially when they're getting ready for an exam, whether it's the midterm, a final, or writing exam, or even the speaking exam, to remember this: do your best and forget the rest. Don't worry about the rest. Just do your best. All right. All right. Thanks so much, and God bless. I don't know what happened at the explanation point here. It should be at the end. I don't know why it's in that area. Okay, we have a few takers. They've taken on the challenge of writing a concluding sentence with a short amount of time. Usually requires quite a bit of um, thinking. I think more than reflection, more than an opening sentence. But I find this very helpful that you are providing examples. Uh, Here is one. My family have provided me with the foundations to navigate through life. Oh my goodness, that's fantastic. Thank you, Mina. Thank you so much. That's a beautiful piece of prose there. Fine. Excellent. And by the way, I need to tell you, some of you are not, I don't know if Mina is or is not. She could have been born and raised in an English speaking country, but if she is not, I would love to write Arabic the way she writes English. It was just beautiful. And Raghad. In my opinion, family has an important place in my life. They did a lot of things to raise me, and I appreciate everything they gave me. Fantastic. That's beautiful too. Very nice. Very nice. Yes. Well, Mina says perhaps as a concluding sentence. Yes, that's exactly what I asked, Mina, and that was done beautifully. Thank you for that so much. That's a fantastic example. We have others that family is everything in the end. Keep them close because they will assist you in your most difficult times. Excellent. By Aisha. Thank you. Aisha number 3. I guess there are 2 other Aishas. And R number 2, after writing, where should I send the paragraph? Well, you can, if you like, you can email me. I could always share it with my students if you don't mind, if I have your permission. You can email me and I will send you my email. Thank you so much for participating, by the way. Okay. Uh, right. Here's an interesting one that Aisha, number 3, that I read about keeping your family close. It's interesting that in the movie The Godfather, I don't know if you've watched The Godfather. I think that was 30 years ago or more. The Godfather often said, "Keep your family close, but keep your." It's very funny what he said in the movie. Keep your family close, but keep your enemies closer. Uh, that's a very interesting statement, and so that makes me think of that. But that's a very well worded conclusion right there. Thank you, Abir. Thank you for your kind words, kind remarks. Wael has said that he would like to thank his parents for his support and my sister's encouragement throughout my studies. Yeah, I would like to say that that's a beautiful piece of prose also. Thank you, Mina, for saying that you've benefited from this workshop. I really appreciate it. Again, Dr. Kamal, if you don't mind. Oh,
Yeah,
you've
sure.
already added the link. Okay, so you
Okay,
can see the link.
you
All right.
that all, Mr. Joseph? Are you
Well,
done?
unless Dr. Kamal, unless there are other questions or any other questions, please feel
Okay.
free.
If the participants have any questions, they can write them in the chat box or they can use their own microphones. Any questions,
Okay, I
dear
prefer the
ladies and
microphones
gentlemen?
because, yeah, it's a little bit quicker with the microphone.
Just a quick reminder, ladies and gentlemen, if you are interested in getting your certificate, mostly today and tomorrow morning at most, please do complete the evaluation form. If you don't do the evaluation form completion, you cannot get your certificate. So if you're interested, please do complete the evaluation form.
Okay, Brother Kamal, I need to tell you that some
Sure.
people in the chat box have said that the date is incorrect on the form, the one that you sent in the link. Is that possible that there might be a misprint? No? A
Could be,
typo?
could be. Though I
Okay.
didn't notice
But
that.
they would still get the certificate, right?
Of
No
course,
matter
of
what,
course,
right?
of course, yeah,
Okay,
of course.
so they needn't worry about that. They'll get the certificate, right?
The certificate is associated with the completion of the evaluation form. It's not with the date. So
Right,
when you
right.
when
Okay.
you complete the evaluation form, you get the certificate within 12 to 24 hours.
Thank
Sometimes
you
less
for
than that.
clarifying that, Brother Kamal. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, thank you very much, Brother Joseph. As usual, your presentation was very valuable, very interesting, very useful, and very inspiring. And we're looking forward to having more excellent workshops like this in the future, inshallah. Thank
Thank you
you
so
all,
much.
and thank you, dear
And I would like to
ladies
thank
and gentlemen.
the audience and all the colleagues and students who have attended. Thank you so much. God bless you.
Thank
Thank
you.
you for participating also.
Sure, yes. Thank you, everybody.
And
Thank you,
again,
ladies
thank
and
you
gentlemen.
to you, Kamal, and to Yahya Al Ghamdi, our assistant director, for his fine cooperation and contribution.
Thank you all. Thank you very much.
Okay, shukran jazilan, and barakallah
Thank you.
fik, as they say.
Thanks a
And
lot.
let me use a third language here. I will actually put it on the slide. I will use a third language, the Italian language, the language of my parents.
Wow.
And yes, so that let me put it on the screen so everybody knows
Grazie,
how it's.
grazie.
Grazie, yes.
Grazie. Muchas grazie. Muchas grazie.
Grazie, arrivederci. That means goodbye.
Okay, then goodbye, everybody. Have a
Okay,
nice
I
time.
think we
Thank
can,
you for
if you don't
attending.
mind, Brother Kamal, I will put that on the
Yes.
screen.
Sure, sure.
Okay. So there it is. And that will be the conclusion. And
Grazie.
of course, barakallah fik. God bless you, everybody.
Thank you.